They didn't just leave me out of Christmas. They erased me, quietly, deliberately. While they carved turkey and clinked wine glasses under twinkling lights, I sat in my apartment, staring at photos I wasn't supposed to see. Photos where my chair, my name, my existence were missing. I hadn't even finished grieving that when the bank called. $500,000 was gone. My account emptied. Used to buy my sister a house I didn't know she was even touring. With a signature I never wrote. And when I confronted them, they told me I was overreacting. That I should be proud to contribute to family. That betrayal was just another name for love. But before I go any further, if you're still here, just say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. It helps, just knowing I'm not alone. Subscribe if this story finds you where words have failed before. And now, let me tell you everything. They didn't even call. That was the part that stung the most. Christmas Eve used to mean something, even when the gatherings were messy and the turkey dry. Even when the wine ran cheap and the jokes ran long, we showed up. Because Ella Lowe, my mother, was nothing if not traditional. But that year, I sat alone in my Boston apartment, the heater wheezing like it shared my exhaustion. I scrolled mindlessly until a photo made my stomach drop. Ivy's Instagram story. Sweet Ivy. My cousin. The one who always said too much without knowing what she'd said. And there it was. My entire family, gathered around the long oak table in my parents' home. The garland was strung perfectly. The gold-rimmed plates I helped my mom pick out 2 years ago gleamed under warm light. Dad stood behind Delilah, his hands on her shoulders. Mom leaned in beaming. There were 8 chairs. Only 7 were filled. 1 was missing. Mine. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stared. Then I called my mother. She picked up on the second ring, voice smooth as ever. Hi sweetheart. Everything okay? Just wondering how the turkey turned out, I said, keeping my voice steady. Silence. Oh. You saw the pictures, didn't you? Her tone softened in that way that always felt like a pat on the head and a shove to the side all at once. It was sort of last minute, honey. We didn't want to pressure you. I thought maybe you had plans in the city. Did anyone ask me? Well, Delilah's been a little sensitive lately. You know how she gets. And you've been so busy. We didn't want to put more on your plate. Busy. That word again. My whole life I'd been busy, and somehow that always translated to excluded. I wasn't invited. It wasn't like that, she said, too quickly. You know how you sometimes say things that make your sister feel small? She's working on herself emotionally. I didn't want to jeopardize that. By including me. You're strong, Cassandra. You don't need this kind of thing to feel okay. Strong. They used that word like a permission slip to leave me behind. That night, Delilah texted. Sorry you missed Christmas. Mom was so happy tonight. Can you help me pick something for her birthday next week? No apology. No ownership. Just a pivot. She'd always been the delicate one. The one who needed support. And me? I was the one they leaned on until they didn't need me anymore. I kept pacing, my eyes going back to that photo. That empty chair. They didn't forget to invite me. They planned around me not being there. That was when I realized I wasn't family anymore. I was a resource. A vault they could open when needed, and silence when they didn't. I tried to shake it off. I had work. Clients. Spreadsheets. My apartment was warm. My fridge was full. I told myself I was fine. But the image haunted me. Not because I wasn't at the table. But because no one expected me to be. Not even a gesture. Not even a plate. And then the memories came flooding back. When Delilah maxed out 2 credit cards after her breakup, Mom called me, voice trembling. She's fragile. She just needs stability. I paid the $18,000. No questions. When Mom remodeled the kitchen, said it was outdated, I transferred. $5,000. Contractor stayed. Dad didn't even say thank you. Just nodded, like I'd done what was expected. It wasn't just money. It was presence. Emotional labor. Time. I booked a retreat for the whole family. Airbnb in Vermont. Paid for the wine, the cheese board, the candles. After dinner, while doing dishes, Mom murmured behind me, maybe next time we go somewhere Delilah likes. She couldn't eat half the menu. Every gesture became a debt. Generosity twisted into guilt. They didn't see me. They used me. I thought love was earned. That if I did enough, helped enough, I'd become irreplaceable. But in the Low House, the more you gave, the more invisible you became. Love wasn't earned. It was reserved. Then came the email. From Andrew Keene, my investment manager. Subject, urgent account security alert. Someone tried to access my long-term fund. $500,000. From an old device I hadn't used in years. The desktop I gave Dad. I wanted to believe it was a glitch. But I knew better. I knew the Pattern. A family that sees you as a vault doesn't ask before they reach in. Still, I hesitated. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to accuse. But then, another notification. Transaction complete. $500,000. Wired to Lexington Realty Holdings. I thought it was a scam. Called the brokerage. The woman on the line was calm. Transfer authorized from a device associated with your account, she said. A MacBook Air. Last used on a network in Newton. My parents' house. I asked for the recipient. Delilah Lowe. Payment for a house. A forged power of attorney on file. When it came through, I felt my knees weaken. It was my signature. My exact shorthand, Cassandra L. The one I only used at work. Only Delilah would know that. I called my mother. I was shaking. Someone forged my signature. Stole $500,000. She didn't miss a beat. Sweetheart, we knew you'd help. Delilah needs a real home. You're in a position to give. You didn't ask, I said. You stole. You falsified a legal document. Her voice shifted, breezy. Let's not use harsh words, Cassandra. We did what we thought was best. Families support each other. This wasn't a mistake. It was a strategy. Calculated. Coordinated. Submitted on a bank day when they knew I'd be buried in quarterly reports. They thought I'd do what I always did. Swallow. Nod. Move on. But not this time. That night, a text from Delilah. I'll pay you back eventually. But let's be real, you make more in a quarter than I've seen in years. Don't make this dramatic. That was when I knew it wasn't about money. It was about entitlement. They didn't think they owed me anything. Because they believed I already had everything. I wasn't their daughter. I was their investor. And when I finally said no, I became the villain. Then they got bolder. A failed login to my retirement account. Same IP. Their house. They weren't done. I locked down everything. Changed passwords. Reached out to Clara Stein, my lawyer. She didn't flinch. This isn't family drama. This is financial fraud. Then my boss called me in. Your father called, she said. Said you were having a rough patch. Left a number for a counselor. I told her everything. She nodded. They called the wrong woman. Still, it didn't stop. Delilah posted a photo in front of the house. Our house, she captioned. Sometimes someone gives you a future. Not everyone understands, but I'll never forget. She didn't tag me. She didn't need to. The comments exploded. She's so heartless. Ungrateful. Cold. Not strangers. Cousins. Teachers. Neighbors. I blocked them all. And then, a letter. Handwritten. From my mother. If you pursue this, Cassandra, I'm not sure this family will have room for you anymore. 5 years ago, that would have shattered me. Now? It set me free. That week, I filed formal charges. The foreclosure happened fast. A call confirmed it, the house was no longer theirs. Delilah called 37 times. I didn't answer. She wasn't being punished. She was meeting consequence, something no one in my family ever taught her. My mother sent an email next. No salutation. No apology. Just, let's not let this go too far. Too far. As if they hadn't gone further than anyone ever should. Their lawyer offered a settlement. I declined. I wanted acknowledgement. I wanted boundaries. Clara drafted a document, full reimbursement, admission of fraud, permanent financial no contact. My parents signed. Delilah didn't show. But it didn't matter. The truth was now written down. Stamped. Sealed. And mine. I was walking through the Mother's Day card aisle when I realized none of the cards fit anymore. So I walked out empty-handed. And lighter. Delilah eventually messaged. Just one line, I get it now. I finally get it. Don't reply. Not an apology. But the first crack. I kept going. Kept healing. Kept breathing. I told this story not for pity, but for truth. Because silence used to be the only thing I was allowed. And if you've ever felt invisible in the room that was supposed to love you, comment yes below. Not for me. For you. For anyone else listening. You're not alone. We're not alone. And this little corner of the internet? Maybe it can be a soft place to land. Until next time, take care of your heart.